Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a kind of a neat video. I thought I'd just go through what I use in my daily drinking world, and you'd be surprised. I drink a lot of wines and I seem to have a lot of stuff, but I end up actually most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, use just the same stuff. And so it's pretty simple. So let's start first with glasses. I actually just at home, you have basically three types of glasses that I use. So I use kind of a smaller glass of white wine or champagne. So I use this for white wine or champagne. And just as you know, if people are interested, this is a Riedel glass. And then I always have a burgundy glass. This can also be used, I think, for Barolo. And I use Aish. So Aish produces a kind of a breathable glass. I think they got sued by Riedel for that claim. But how this technology works is basically that supposedly there's micro indents on the surface of this glass, and therefore spread out the surface area is a huge surface area. Now it could be, I believe that it does air wine quicker, these glasses, but you know, who knows, it could be just my own thinking. I have done blind tastings in the past and thought that it did make a difference, but who knows, but I use that glass. And basically why I use certain glasses, I just like the weight, like sometimes, so there's like for me, I like glasses that are kind of not too industrial in terms of their setup, but not too fragile. So these ones are, to me, kind of a good mix. I still hand wash all my glasses. I don't put it in the dishwasher, but I feel that it's sturdy enough that I don't think I can just break it with my hands, but likewise, it's not like so heavy. So I like the weight. For me, weight is really important, just the feel of it in my hands. I sometimes, if it's too nice a glass, it actually doesn't have enough weight, and the stem is not thick enough that I almost feel like I'm gonna break it all the time. So that doesn't feel good to me. I like kind of a sturdier glass that I'm not afraid I'm gonna break all the time. And then lastly, I have a general purpose, you know, glass for Bordeaux. Use that for Cab or Shirazes. So that seems to be all I use. And this again is Riedel. So that's basically what I use. I don't think it really matters the glass producer. I think it more matters the shape and also the feel. Like I just like a certain feel to glasses, and it's just a personal preference. But if you feel that that's a good glass to can swirl around, it's got good weight, I like. It's just personal. It's kind of like golf clubs, and people have their own kind of feel of what they like in terms of weight. Same thing with wine glasses. For me, I feel that these are pretty good weight, and I've used them for many years. In terms of corkscrews, I have just two that I use. I'm still proud that I do all my wines by Corkscrew, however old. As you've seen on this channel, I've done bottles of 60s Bordeaux using corkscrews. And so that's just my thing. I'm probably being a bit stupid about that, so I probably should start to use the ASO. It's just that personally I just don't use it. I probably just don't know how to use it, and I just feel more comfortable with a corkscrew. I think there's an art form to it. In my opinion, it gives me a feel of the cork, and also gives me a feel of the wine and how it's being stored and things like that. By feeling the cork and how it pulls out, that to me helps me kind of know a little bit more about the wine and its storage. That's my personal preference. Probably silly because most people still use ASOs. I probably should eventually use ASOs. It looks like this is Serapil, and again, it's about weight. I like this one because it's got first of all, quite a long corkscrew. You need that for especially Bordeaux wines and older wines. I find that the more kind of cheaper corkscrews are too short, and so they just can't. They're great for kind of just everyday wines, but once you get to Bordeaux wines or softer corks or older wines, it always breaks the cork. And I just like the weighting of this. So it's got a really sturdy handle here. So again, I think it pulls out very well. And then for special bottles, I use this, which I bought, I think, in Napa. It's called Languel en Aubrac. The weighting on this is very good, and the corkscrew is quite nice and long. And again, I like the weighting of it. It's got a very good sense of how you can pull it out. Sometimes with cheaper corkscrews, just they're not sturdy enough, and they give you, it's very flimsy. So I like that a lot. A lot of times you'll see my videos, I tell you that I store wines overnight in the fridge. Generally what I do is I either just pop the cork back in. I do it upside down so it can get into the cork. I know some people say that might put in some germs, but I generally haven't had a problem with that. Or second, I just use this pump, and I don't even know what end this is, but I just use this pump. I pump out all the air, and it seems to work out fine. Probably it's not, I don't do a spectacular job, but it seems to work out pretty well. This is, of course, everyone's familiar with the Korin. This is an older model. I used to use this a bit more, but now I frequently just don't drink at home by myself as much. In COVID, I would use it a lot more because I was at home a lot, so I would kind of open different bottles and take a little bit of each one. But nowadays, you know, I'm out and about more often, so a lot of times I won't drink at home. I'll drink with other people, and I don't really need to Korin it. It's already open because I have other people to drink with. One of the things I use, I think someone gave me this. This is called Vin Bouquet, and I actually use this to aerate a lot of times. So it's kind of how this works is that you just put the wine, pour it in here, and then you put the glass here, and then it kind of twirls around and it makes this sucking sound. I find it actually works well, and kind of it's a neat gadget. A lot of this also, I don't know if it really works, but it's neat, and it's kind of nice to have these kind of gadgets when you're drinking wine. In terms of decanters, I actually like a simple one. So I saw this at a restaurant. A lot of restaurants use it. I actually like this a lot. This is Riedel, and it's just easy to pour. I find it really easy to use, and it's very handy. And also, if you want to double decant, it's very easy. So I don't think it's that expensive, but I think I use that all the time. And then for more fancy things, I use this bulb. Again, I'm not even sure if it does anything, but it looks spectacular, right? You pour the wine in here as a bulb. This is Aish, and it kind of swirls here. I guess it's supposed to aerate the wine. I think it just looks great. It's just kind of a show piece. Having said that, it's kind of weird because you have to take this off and then you have to clean it. This decanter I also like because it's got a little kind of thing in the bottom here, just like a champagne glass. I can hold it, and it's much easier. I find with a lot of these flat decanters, it's really hard to get the last bit out, but this one is easy to kind of pour the whole thing out. The last thing I want to show you is just my carrying cases. So a lot of times I have to carry wine to restaurants. So I have two. This is my big one, which stores 6 bottles. This is kind of my smaller one, which is basically for 2. It's very handy size. And so you just store 2 bottles in here. So it's kind of nicer than bring a brown bag. So I like these type of things. Just a short video to show kind of what I use every day. And again, I would say this stuff is about 90%, 95% of my use of things. Of course, when we have company, we have more glasses, but you know, that's all you really need. You don't really need a lot of fancy stuff to drink wine. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, happy drinking.